So if you're someone that works, let's say a 9 to 5, a shift level job, and you just can't find the time to actually trade the markets, let's say the futures, okay? Maybe you have interest in trading, maybe the E-mini S&P 500. I want to share with you today a way to grow an account, okay? How can you actually go about, making money, grow your account to where you can trade and work at the same time, all right? Now, first and foremost, number one, what you want to do is determine, okay, if I work say for example, a 9 to 5 job, I know I'm not going to be able to trade within that time frame. The only time in which I may be able to trade is probably during my lunch, okay? Maybe I have an hour lunchtime and I can, grab some grub and then at the same time be looking at the markets. Now, I would recommend not doing that on your phone. You definitely want to have a laptop or desktop. But, if your boss, if your employer says that you should be focused in on, your job and not, trying to conduct other business, outside of your job, you may want to definitely stay away from trying to trade, at your workplace. If you're sitting there with the charts in front of you, and let's say you have multiple monitors and you're supposed to be doing work and you have other charts in front of you where you're trading from, and your boss walks in on you, you're probably going to get reprimanded. You may even, possibly get a warning or a write-up and possibly even let go if you do it, several times. So please find the time to actually trade these markets in your own time, okay? In the morning, that may be a little bit difficult, but you can trade pre-market. You do not have to wait to the opening bell at 9:30, which is the New York Stock Exchange opening, to try to catch a setup, all right? Now, I would do so pre-market. You can also trade during the, once you get off work, come home, spend some time with your family, eat dinner, whatever the case may be, and then maybe hit the charts around Asian session. Now, depending on what part of the globe or what part of the states you actually live in, if you're somewhere out west, that may be a little bit different, but it just depends on where you're at since you're located across the globe, okay? Because that's going to, have a factor in reference to the time zone, all right? So for me, I'm Eastern time. So I'm either going to be able to trade before I go to work somewhere between possibly maybe, 7 and maybe 8:30, 9. Well, I'm not going to say 9 o'clock because you have to be or report at your job at 9. So let's say you get up a little bit earlier. Maybe look at the market at 6:30 and then like maybe 8 o'clock or 8:30 the latest, okay, before you have to end up heading into work. If you're not able to trade during the actual session, because you have a 9 to 5, then you're going to want to what? You're going to want to probably try to carve out some time in the evening during the Asian session to trade. Now, as far as trying to grow an account, that's a great option to where you can spend some time. Maybe you have a solid strategy and you want to perfect it, and you are consistently profitable or have been by proving to yourself, whether you have done so in simulation or in demo. It's time, okay, and you're ready to put some skin in the game. Definitely try to carve out that time frame in which you can put things to the test, all right? Now, this is not for brand new beginners out there who are, just wanting to start going live trading. I would recommend definitely spend some time on the charts, learn a solid strategy, preferably the one maybe I share with you here on this channel here surrounding multi-chart confluence and how I trade, okay? The strategy is very easy. If you want to understand more about it, I'll talk about that towards the end of this video here. But yeah, in reference to trying to grow an account, it's really not that hard. But again, you're going to have to do so on your own personal time. Now, if your employer or your boss says it's okay for you during your lunchtime or doesn't, mind if you are not busy looking at the markets and, trying to take a scalp or trying to take a trade, then that's fine just as well. But I wouldn't risk my full-time job trying to, scalp or trying to do something part-time. Keep part-time and full-time separate from each other, all right? Because maybe your goal is at the end is to, at some point, is to transition from maybe leaving your full-time job that you may not be pleased with, and you really have a passion to want to day trade as a trader going forward full-time. Okay, that could be an option, right? It definitely is. I do it each and every day. It provides a very comfortable means of living. I will say this now. And, the sky is the limit when it comes to income. Most employers or jobs may have an income cap that, once you meet it, you may not be able to get another bonus. You may not, be able to bump up into the next tier of income because you've capped out. that's the beauty about trading that I love so much, is that there is no cap. I get the freedom of trade when I want to trade, how I want to trade, and how much money I can pick and choose. How much money do I want to make today? If I'm fine with $500, if I'm fine with $2,000, I'm done. But you got to put some things in place for yourself and parameters when it comes to actually trading as a profession. Now, a secret I can actually tell you right now that actually works, okay, is perfecting and staying with one solid strategy. Don't go out there and find or start, maybe master something. And you say, hey, I want to give something else a chance. You ever heard the saying, if it's not broken, then why try to fix it? Stick with what has been working for you, okay? Just perfect it even more, okay? Master it even more. Change something about it. The markets are evolving. We need to kind of adapt as traders, right? So allow the strategy to work for you so you can continue growing your actual account. Now, when in reference to the systematic way of how I trade, supply and demand, okay? To me, it's the GOAT. It's the way to actually be able to take home and make a living from doing this. Even if you want to do it part-time and want to keep your full-time 9-to-5 job, you can definitely do this, all right? It's just a matter, like I said before, figuring out when you can do it, okay? All right, so maybe you have a family and you come home and spend time with the wife and then you spend time with the kids. Again, carve some time out the evening time when things kind of, boil down and the noise kind of clears to where you can, separate yourself and get by yourself to actually look at the charts and maybe scout for a trade, But you're going to definitely want to have a system in place. And what am I talking about? A solid strategy. This is the only way you're going to be able to grow that account. I'm serious when I say that. Whether it's your live trading account or whether it's prop firm account that you're actually trading and you become funded with that. Either way, you're going to need a solid strategy to be able to do so. So this is where I come into the picture as far as like sharing with you information surrounding, a great supply and demand strategy that I talk about a lot here on this channel. How do I go about doing this each and every day in my own, in my own life? I use top-down analysis. I always start from a higher base chart. Like if it's the E-mini S&P 500 or even the micro E-mini S&P 500, I'm starting with the 60 range. I'm looking at structure. I'm determining, and you have to focus in on what inform a bias in the market. You cannot just go short, go long. You have to understand which way the market is moving. So start with the higher base chart to start with. From there, then figure out the direction. From there, all I do is from my higher chart, once I say, okay, the market is bullish to the upside like it is here on the ES futures right now, I will then mark off my demand zone. So I mark zones according to the direction in which the market is actually trending. We're moving to the upside, we're bullish. I'm marking up demand zones. Demand are aggressive areas of buying in the market. Then I'll mark off my zone on the higher base chart. Okay. After that, I basically just, like for example, live example right here. The market was moving to the upside here. This is the same trade I took yesterday and I posted over in the Discord. You're interested in joining the Discord? The link is down in the description. It's free to join. Pulls back to this demand zone. We're bullish to the upside off my higher range chart. Okay. I mark up my zone because we're bullish. Demand zone, mark it up. And then I'll move down to a lower base chart. From there, once the market starts retracing to the zone on the higher base chart I have marked up and taps into it and fills the imbalance or gap resting back at the zone, then on my lower base chart, I'm looking for some bullish momentum where there's breaks of structure moving in the same direction as what's taking place or the bias I formed off the higher base chart to take the trade going back to the upside. I cover this in great detail, especially within the private community for those who are elite and ultra elite supporters. It's very inexpensive for anyone who wants to join. I don't have a mentorship program, a trading course, or anything like that. Where I really break down my cornerstone and the blueprint to how I trade is within that private community for the elite and the ultra elite supporters. It's only $6.99 a month to become an elite supporter of the channel. How do you do so? There's a link down in the description portion of the video right below the Discord link titled Elite and Ultra Elite Supporters. Click on that. You'll see a few tiers pop up. This is all through the YouTube tier membership program that they offer that allow yourself, okay, to be able to take part in, or say for example, I'm a content creator, so you can become a member of the channel here and gain access to perks and rewards. The perks and rewards that I give here on my channel or for one, if you become an elite member, you gain access to all my trade breakdown videos. The trades that I post over on the Discord, I go back and I break them down in very fine detail for the elite and ultra elite supporters. That's where I cover the blueprint and the cornerstone to surrounding the strategy for every trade that I take. market structure, price action, profit target areas, stop loss areas. The more you watch those videos, and you spend time, the more that you're going to see, that how the strategy actually works. And then you back test it and forward test it. You've got to put some time into, on the charts to be able to see it. I'm not going to say sometime, a lot of time, to be honest with you, okay? You got to do your homework, all right? Now, the system works. It really does. There's a testimonial section on the Discord. You can click on that and see. People are posting testimonials. They're using the same strategy in how I trade using range bar charts. Just trading futures, okay? This is a great way to where you can actually work and make money, outside your full-time job, all right, your 9 to 5, and be able to grow your own account, whether it be your prop firm funded account or your own live account, in your own time, on your own time, whenever you choose to, all right? But again, don't try to do this from work. If your boss man says, no, you got to focus. I hired you on what I have employed you to do. Please, guys, don't get yourself fired over trying to do something that you're not supposed to be doing at work. Carve out your own time, all right? Because if you do that, nobody's going to know what you're doing in your own time, okay, other than, your family, whatever the case is. And then you say, hey, I'm doing this. I'm setting myself up so I can. A lot of people are like, hey, I'm looking for something different in my life. They're wanting to leave that full-time job for something that may be better. So do it in your own time. Don't let people know what you're actually doing, because then that may sell you short in a sense to where you lose your 9 to 5 job, and now you really have to figure out, okay, well, I got to make this trading thing work. All right. So prove that you can make money in your own time, and then, start accumulating and accruing and building and growing an account in your own time, and then you can make the decisions what you're going to do later down the road, right? But yeah, the system of how I trade, it works. People are making money on a daily basis. They're passing their valuations, or even if they're trading in simulation or demo and are consistent in doing so, eventually they're going to either go fund their own live account, or they're going to go switch over to trading some prop firm, whatever the case is. But the end goal is to make money, and you can make a career out of trading the future markets, okay? Maybe, like I said, you're kind of getting burnt out working that shift level job, 9 to 5, whatever it may be, that is tying you down, and you feel as if you can't get ahead, meaning, you can't make any more money than where you're at right now. And that's the thing that makes people uncomfortable, is that they are wanting to grow as a person. They're wanting to, build something. Maybe, it's a legacy. Maybe it is you want to try to grow your account because, you want to protect your family down the road, or something in the event, whatever the case may be. And you're tired of just, at the end of the day, just burning the wick on both ends, and at the end of the month, not having much to really show for it. So trading can be a great opportunity. Now, there are risks that come with this, and I talk about that in ways to kind of how to mitigate that through proper risk management. You have to understand that. So, you're just not always going to get in here and make crazy amounts of money every single day. You have to understand, first and foremost, that these markets are real, okay? They will take everything from you if you don't know what you're doing. So you have to be smart about what you're doing and learn things the correct way, understand things the correct way. Me personally, I had educated my own self. I spent a lot of time watching content, but I also spent a lot of time understanding, the technicals and the fundamentals of things, and finding a system, putting one together that would work for me, okay? Making something that would work. That's why I trade range charts, because to me, they're cleaner to the eye. They just work better for me. I like things to be very simple and clean, and I can read my charts very, very well in doing so. And a lot of people who are part of this community have switched from other chart styles, whether it be tick, volume, or time, and are using range charts now. I'm just going to throw that out there. So again, you could do this. It's just you got to put time in. You got to put the effort in. You got to have the drive and the motivation, and you got to have a goal for yourself. If your goal is to quit your 9 to 5 or leave your 9 to 5 job at some point down the road, to want to convert over or transition over to trade futures full time, then you got to slowly chip at trying to grow that prop firm account, trying to grow that live account. All right. So just make sure you're doing the right way. Don't do it at your job. Don't show people your cards in your hand. Do it in your own private time. And then when you need to execute, okay, and you know that you're doing the right thing, and you're proving that you can make money doing so, then you'll know when the right time is to sell that ship, jump ship, and maybe possibly, leave that 9 to 5 on the table and do something better with your life. All right. That's all I have with you guys. Again, if you're interested in becoming an elite or an ultra elite supporter, the link is down in the description portion of the video. It's very inexpensive, very easy to access just as well, and lots and lots and lots of loads of valuable information. Just for example, if you want to become an elite supporter of the channel, you receive all my trade breakdown videos, the video playlist, and a great video surrounding market structure for $6.99 a month. And I'm constantly, just like on a daily basis, almost posting new video content surrounding trade breakdowns, the trades that I've taken and posted on the Discord, so that people can, watch this video content, because eventually the more you do, you're basically studying homework material and reviewing the markets, and I'm breaking down these trades for you. But the more you do so, at some point it's going to click. Trust me when I say that, all right? And then you have the option of also becoming a ultra elite supporter, where you receive everything I just mentioned, plus my live recorded trading sessions, which are recorded in full, and then I post them for the ultra elite supporters. So the choice is yours, which supporter type you want to be. That's all I have, guys. If you have not taken the time to subscribe to the channel, please do so by clicking that sub button. Make sure to click the bell as soon as you do so that you do not miss any of the video content that I drop pretty much daily, and that is the post notification bell. Outside of that, that's all I have. Take care. Hope everyone has a very safe weekend with the weather, for all those that may be impacted by the weather coming in. And if you do me the biggest favor, before you jump off this video right now, click that like button, that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. Take care.